So in the last video, I said in my more than 30 years of driving experience, I had only one major accident in Canada, and I only claimed insurance one time. And in Vietnam, I got into small accidents, but nothing major. Actually, I was wrong, okay? Now that I think about it, I had actually two more serious accidents in Canada. I've never had any serious accidents here in Vietnam, but I'm gonna share with you my accident experience, okay? Let's go.
Hey Tom, it's the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. First I want to say congratulations on your YouTube channel. Everybody needs to follow your YouTube channel. So what everyone needs to do is subscribe to Tom Peng. Great guy, great person. Tom, keep up the great work.
In Canada, where I had the more major accident, let me tell you the first time, all right? The very first time I had a car accident was before I even had a driver license. You see, I really love cars. I really want to drive cars. And I was 19 years old, my parents out of town, and I was alone at home, and they have cars. And I thought, well, nobody's gonna know about it. If I just take the car and just drive it around a little bit, and nobody's gonna know. And my parents had this Volvo 740 GLE. It was a 1988 model. It looks like a very square car. It doesn't have a lot of performance, and it's awfully slow. And I decided to take the car out just to play around with it. I actually did a really good job. Nobody taught me how to drive, and I drive pretty well. So I got more ambitious, all right? I got more brave. And I got the car onto the highway, and I was gonna go like really long distance. I don't know why I decided to do that. Obviously, I'm an idiot. I was young, reckless, and I did not know what I was doing. I took the Volvo 740 GLE 1988 model. It was blue, and I drove it down the highway number 1 in Canada, and I was going pretty far away, probably 3-4 hours away from Vancouver. I was near this town called Cache Creek, and it started to rain. It was raining really hard, all right? I was still going pretty quick. I was going 110, 120 kilometers per hour, and I've never had any experience driving in the rain. And I was going to this corner. When you go into a corner, you get a little bit scared, you get a little bit nervous, so I step on the brake. And you know what happens? The Volvo 640 GLE is a heavy car. It has like narrow tires. It doesn't grab the road too well, and it starts skidding, all right? It starts skidding into the corner, and then I lost control. The car basically fly off the road and went into a ditch and rolled like 3-4 times. I was lucky to survive. So the car rolled several times into a ditch. People come to save me. Luckily, nothing bad happened to me. I had a little bit of scratches here and there, but I wasn't injured in any way because I was in a Volvo. Back in the 1980s, Volvos are considered one of the safest car you can drive. And even when I was a teenager, I had balls, man. I just took the family car out and drove everywhere where I want, even with no training in how to drive, or even with a driver license. I'm not saying you should do that. I think that's totally fucking stupid. I would never do that again, of course, but I have to say I got balls. And of course, my parents come back to Vancouver, and they did not blame me very hard. They just thought I was crazy, man. Like, why would I do that? They're just really puzzled. Why would I do that? Right? But other than that, they didn't really get upset at me. I'm very grateful for my parents because they tend to encourage me to do things that require balls, all right? So they did not blame me very much, so that I appreciate them very much. So that was my very first accident, even before I got a driver license. And also the insurance company was super nice to me too. They say, you know what, normally we will not cover in this case because you have no driver license and you're driving your mom's car without permission. But you know what, because we want to give you a break, so if you get your license in this time, then we will pay the insurance payout. And they did. Of course, I did the driving test, I got my license, and the insurance company paid out for the car. basically the car was completely totaled because there's no way you can fix that car anymore. It was completely destroyed, all right? So that was my first accident, all right? When I was 19 years old, I did not even know how to drive. I don't have a driver license. Now let's talk about my second accident. It also happened in Canada. I think it was around 2009 or 2010. I cannot really remember. This is before I come to Vietnam. I was still working in Canada. The story is very simple. I just had a new girlfriend. I just met a new girlfriend at work, all right? She was working with me, and long story short, we were like together, and we've been like sleeping together a lot and pretty much every night. And she liked to keep me awake at night. And so I was getting very little sleep, okay, very little sleep. And during the day, I have to like take her out and do things. And one day I was driving into a road and then I was doing a U-turn. I was not paying any attention. There was a car spinning towards me. I guess they did not even see me too. So he crashed into my car. According to Canadian rules, if I'm doing a U-turn, they crash into me, it's still my fault because I should only like do the U-turn when it's safe to do so. So of course the police say it's my fault, and that's okay. So that was my second accident. Nobody was injured. It was a very small accident, but I was driving my Mercedes 600 SL, which is a Sportster convertible. It's a very nice car, and the damage on the car was not significant, but because it's a Mercedes 600, the bill was huge, all right? Of course, the insurance company covered it because I did not have any accidents for 11 years before I got into that accident. So the insurance company also gave me a break, did not affect my insurance premium at all. But unfortunately, I have to count from zero again. Like they count how many years you have no accident, right? And based on that, they give you discounts and incentives. And right now, I'm probably like 20 years no accident in Canada. But now I drive mostly in Vietnam. And I also don't have any major accidents. But in Vietnam, it's a little bit more challenging because you got pretty much cars all over the place. All right, all over the place, and you got motorbike all over the place. So even if I don't hit them, they're gonna hit me, okay, sometimes. And always they hit me. And so small fender benders, and usually I don't do anything, I just let them go and I drive away. It's pretty cheap to fix cars in Vietnam. To paint a panel in a car is very, very cheap here in Vietnam. So I don't go argue with people about it. So, you know, sometimes they crash into my car, I just drive away. I don't even give a shit, right? So that's my accident stories. All right, okay, take some fucking action, be a safe driver, sleep well, you know, because when you don't sleep well, you cannot focus on driving and they get into accidents, right? Don't be a fucktard.